Hello, I'm back. I took a little bit of a break. I don't know if anyone even noticed, but I did take a little bit of a break off of social media. I haven't been uploading as much recently because I was really ill. I had a cough after Paris and then I got a bug. I went home to Cornwall recently and I caught a bug. So yeah, I've just kind of been out of action, but I'm excited to be back today with another minimalism video. And today's a video about digital minimalism, which is something I haven't really talked about when I've talked about minimalism in the past, but it's something that I really wanted to talk about alone in a video. So let's get into the digital world. Today everything is online, so our jobs are online, our relationships are shared online, our lives are just completely in the digital world, and therefore it's important that we're careful about what we share, how much time we spend on our phones, how much time we spend looking at a screen. And also we're aware, for someone like me, I have to be careful not to let everything become a disorganized mess, because I'm constantly creating and using the digital world. I have to make sure everything stays sorted and organized. This is something I struggle with. And this is probably the area of minimalism that I tackled last and that I'm not very good at it. I'm pretty bad at it. I often get sucked into my phone. I often let my files get disorganized. So that's probably why I've not talked about this before, because it's something that I'm still working on, but who cares? There's things that I have found along the way to work and some tips and tricks that I have used. So this video is definitely not a sort of tech video. I know that Craig Adams did a really amazing video on digital minimalism where he went into detail about how he keeps his online space and his laptop, and it was very, very interesting. I'm not really a techie person, so that's not really what I'm focusing on in this video. I'm more going to focus on social media, you know, how to be mindful online and that type of thing, and just some tips and tricks that I've used as someone who spends a lot of time online as it's their job. So I'm going to kick off the list with social media. Social media has taken over our lives, and while this is a good thing in a lot of ways, for me it's a good thing because it's my job. I found a lot of inspiration online and I find it a source of positive influence. It also has a negative impact because you're scrolling and looking at everyone's highlight reels. You are comparing yourself to other people you don't know and you wouldn't otherwise know if it wasn't for social media. So it is really important to be careful about your use of social media, to be aware of it and to take some time off. I think there's definitely an epidemic now of people struggling with their mental health because of social media, because of comparing your life to someone who has the most incredible life and you would never know about it if it wasn't for social media, and thinking that the day-to-day normal living is just no good compared to this person who's traveling the world, who's really rich, who has all the things at their fingertips. And yeah, you have to be careful about taking that with a grain of salt and understanding where social media, what social media does in your life and what place it should have. So what I like to do is I like to make sure that I have set times of the day that I'm using social media. This is really important for me, as I mentioned, I'm going to keep on mentioning this video because I work online and my job is to share on social media. This is really, really important because I can get sucked in. So at night time, I make sure that I don't have my phone in my bedroom and I leave it in the other room on charge so I can read, I can go to bed early, I can spend time with my partner, I don't have to be thinking about it before I go to bed, and I'm not absorbing that information, so I can relax before I go to bed at night. And then similarly in the morning, my phone isn't in my room, so I'm not waking up and scrolling and checking mindlessly as I wake up. I think that it's really, really important for me to have time in the morning to not be thinking about anything at all, because my mind goes at 100 miles per hour for the rest of the day. So that's my one chill time. So I try and make an effort to wake up, I do yoga or go on a walk or make breakfast or whatever, and I don't check my phone until I sit down and start working, and then I'm trying to do it in a mindful way from a business point of view. So I'm posting on social media, on Instagram or something, I'm checking my emails, and that way I'm not mindlessly scrolling. I'm also starting to do a curfew in the evening for technology, so after 7 p.m. I'm trying my hardest to put my phone down, put my laptop away so I'm not on the digital space too much. I'm kind of living the real world a little bit more, because it's so easy as someone who's self-employed to just stay on your laptop, continue working till the late hours of the evening, and then finding it hard to switch off. So that's something that I'm really giving a go at the minute. I also really encourage digital detoxes off of social media. This past week I spent a week off of Instagram and YouTube because I went home for a family matter in Cornwall, and it was really great. I definitely still used my phone and was on social media looking and stuff, but I didn't post, and I just kind of was a bit more, my phone wasn't really present. I was just not really using it, and it felt really good. So I do recommend that you try digital detoxes. I did one at Christmas where I didn't touch my phone at all, didn't go on any social media, and it is wonderful. So definitely give that a go. Another thing that I did a few years ago was to switch all of the notifications off on my phone. This is honestly the best decision ever. I really recommend you do it, especially again if you work on social media, or if you work online, or if you do a lot of stuff in the digital space and you're constantly getting notifications, because it can drive you nuts constantly seeing this little red button, constantly having the thing ding. And it means that I can check my phone. I can go onto Instagram to see what messages I have. I can go onto my emails to see what emails I have. And if someone really needs me, they can ring me. That's the only notification I have live on my phone, is a phone call. I definitely recommend you give this a go. It means that you just have the space and the time to reply when you want to reply, and it lets go of that pressure. The third thing is quite simply to organise your files. I know that this is maybe a bit generic, but as I said, I'm not really a tech person, so I'm not going to show you the ins and outs of how I do it, but it's just so much easier if you have everything organised and if you do it as you go. Don't leave it till later on to organise. I have done that for a long time, where I will just be like, oh, I can't be bothered to organise my memory card, I can't be bothered to sort out my files, I'll do it later, and then it just means everything gets in a mess, and then it takes a day or two to sort it all out. So now I have a system where I have very little on my laptop. I only have the assets that I use on a regular basis, so things like my ebooks and some branding stuff if I need to send my media kit, or I don't know, some things to people via email or profile pictures, that type of thing. And then I have a folder on whatever video or photos that I'm working on currently. And then when I'm done with that, I will then save that to my hard drive and back it up on my other hard drive. So there's nothing really ever sitting on my laptop. I also always delete my downloads folder, so that's always empty. And I just try and keep everything sorted in neat and tidy folders so I can see where everything is. And then periodically, every few months, I might go through and kind of delete some stuff and organise a little bit. You might have to start with a lot of mess and spend a whole day or two organising everything, but honestly, once you've done it, it's so easy to keep track of. So another area of your digital world that might get cluttered is your phone. So what I like to do is I like to only have one page of apps, and then I save everything into little folders. And I only have apps on my phone that I use. I checked actually before this video, and there were no apps on there that I don't use. So I don't have any games on my phone or any sort of extra apps that people recommend or tell me that I need for various things, because I know there are so many apps always coming out. People say, oh, you need this app, you need to try this app, you need to try this game. But try just to have the ones that you actually use. And if you download one and you're finding that you're not using it, just delete it, because you're probably not going to use it in the future. And if you do need to use it again, you can just download it again. There's no point in keeping it on your phone. I really love just having that one page. I know where everything is, and everything's just nice and tidy. Number 5 is to unfollow and unsubscribe. There is so much content out there, and you don't need to be following all of it, and you don't need to be subscribed to all of it. It's really important that you're discerning about what you follow and you're discerning about what you're subscribed to, so you're only absorbing information and content that makes you feel good and helps you in your life, and you're not following people who make you feel bad about yourself, or you're not subscribed to channels that make you jealous, or you're not subscribed to email lists that make you tempted to shop when you're really trying not to shop right now. Maybe someone really inspired you a few years ago, but today you can't relate to them. Or maybe you used to have a website in your bookmarks that you used to love visiting, it was your favourite website, but you just don't go on anymore. Go through all those little areas like your inbox, like your Instagram feed and your YouTube, and just unsubscribe and unfollow things that don't serve you and that you don't relate to anymore and that maybe don't make you feel very good. And if you want to unfollow a friend who maybe is making you feel a bit envious of their lifestyle, or who's just, I don't know, reminding you of stuff that you don't want to be thinking about, then unfollow them and don't worry about them getting offended. You have to put your mental health first. And if they do ask you about it, you can just explain to them the reason why, and any good friend would understand. And there's nothing wrong with being discerning and curating your online space and who you follow and what you're absorbing. That's entirely up to you and nobody else. So another element of digital minimalism that I want to talk about is to use the digital space to your benefit. So to use it to declutter the physical space, use it to improve your life, and use it in a positive way. So for example, there are lots of ways that I use the digital world to reduce in the physical world. So I will stream music and stream television and movies, and I will save things online and then back them up rather than printing them. I will also learn information online, so via YouTube or via things like Skillshare. There are digital tools and platforms that you can use to improve your life and to minimize your physical life, or minimize the amount of time you're spending doing things physically. So Skillshare, for example, is an amazing platform to learn new skills. So you don't have to spend loads of money and loads of time going to classes or researching things in a library, or I don't know, finding out things elsewhere. It's all there on one platform. It's easily searchable, it's easily usable. So if you didn't know, Skillshare is an online learning community, and there's over 17,000 classes on there, and they have topics on everything. So they have business, entrepreneurship, photo, design, honestly, website design, everything. There's so much to be learnt. If you get premium membership, then you have unlimited access to all of these classes with experts in the field of whatever skill that you want to learn, so you can improve and you can understand a new topic and get to know that thing that you've always wanted to know about. Skillshare is also really affordable if you get an annual membership. It's under $10 a month, so it saves a lot of time and money, which is a really fundamental part of minimalism. I've worked with Skillshare before in the past, and I've shared with you how it's been really useful for me to learn to improve my business, to learn about entrepreneurship, to learn about finance and photography, and it's been really beneficial, and I think hopefully you can notice the improvement in my videos. And I put that down to some of the lessons that I've learned on Skillshare. So if you are interested in learning something new, then the first 500 people who click the link in the description get the first 2 months for free on Skillshare. So go check it out. I'll leave everything down below, all the information. And yeah, that's just one way that you can improve your physical life via the digital space. Similarly to physical things that you find hard to get rid of and to purge from your life, it can be hard to delete stuff when you're saving things on your laptop or you're saving things online. But it's really, really therapeutic actually to delete things and get rid of them, and you don't need them. Honestly, there's so many things that you save, or that I used to save and I used to keep, that I really didn't need. And I actually find it so thoroughly enjoyable now to just delete it. I've just kind of over the years realised that whenever I'm saving stuff and thinking that I need it, all it's doing is just taking up loads of space and stressing me out, because I need to make more space. Like buying new hard drives and stuff, when it's probably just better for me to delete all the things that I'm never going to use and I'm never going to touch. Go in there, go on your laptop, go on your hard drive and delete all that stuff you're never going to use and you're never going to touch. Go into your inbox, organise everything important into files and delete everything else, and you'll feel so much better. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed all of my thoughts and tips on digital minimalism. Let me know in the comments how you use the digital space and how you minimise your physical space via the digital world and how you minimize the digital world, and talk to me about it. Let me know, because as I say in all my videos, it's really great to have this community to talk openly about these things, especially things like social media and its effect on our mental health. We really got to be careful, and we've got to look after ourselves, make sure we're not making ourselves feel crap by spending so much time online. If I make you feel crap, if you follow me and I make you feel jealous or whatever, or angry or something, don't watch me, unfollow me, unsubscribe. But yeah, I will see you in my next video, which should be a food video. It should be a back to school lunches video, I think. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.